Please shut up!
They see me rolling, they hating, patrolling and trying to catch me riding dirty, trying to catch me riding dirty, trying to catch me riding dirty, trying to catch me riding dirty.
YouTubers, Facebookers, and Instagram people, and any other randoms who stumble across this video. My name is James Davies, and I am a HR/admin professional working for a disability services organisation in Perth, Western Australia. I am 27 years old, and I'm living with a disability called spastic quadriplegia cerebral palsy, which means that I use a wheelchair for mobility and require 24/7 care. That basically means I need assistance with toileting, dressing, feeding, and any other task that you may consider, I suppose, personal care. But that does not mean that I can't do anything. Thankfully, I have relatively limited use of my hands, but it is enough to use a computer, and so that has meant I've been able to go to school, compulsory schooling, primary school and high school, which was in a mainstream setting, and many of those individuals I went to school with may be watching this, and some may have even watched the random YouTube vlogs I made when I was a teenager and then deleted for very good reason, because I'm now quite a different person, and I suppose my life experiences have shaped me into who I am today, which is a horrendous cliche, but also my professional experiences and my studies. So what I should say, I guess, is I'm kind of doing this under duress from a friend who suggested I start doing video updates again to develop a following for a book that I have written, which is now in the hands of an editor. So I won't say any more about that, but that is the underlying purpose behind this video, to introduce myself to those who don't know me out there in the bizarre, weird and wonderful interwebs. But this video does have a point. Some of you may know that I am Australia's first teenage disabled marriage celebrant. And yes, I'm no longer a teenager, but I was authorised as a celebrant when I was 18. So actually 19, sorry. I began studying the course when I was 18 and submitted my application to become a celebrant around that time, and then was 19 by the time all the checks and balances came through and was authorised to be a celebrant. Now, how does somebody who has limited dexterity do that, I hear you ask? Well, the thing is, I can use a computer, and in Australia, according to the Marriage Act 1961 and the Marriage Regulations 1963, all marriage certificates and paperwork can be completed on a computer, provided that they are then signed off by the marriage celebrant using a signature, which I can produce. It is quite higgledy-piggledy, but it is legally recognisable nonetheless. I have conducted 8 weddings. It is something I just do on a very, very casual basis for close family and friends. So please do not text me, message me over Facebook or any of those things and ask me to marry you in the solemnization sense. If you are a 6-foot blonde, preferably Swedish model, then yes, please message me, because I would like to marry you. But we will leave dating for another vlog. I suppose I just wanted to give all those people out there getting married some tips that I give couples and that we learnt in our celebrancy course about how to write your personalised vows. What many celebrants, priests, ministers of religions encourage people to do is write their own vows that are personalised, and as long as it incorporates the legal or religious wording required by your state, territory or country, that's fine. And I've always encouraged my couples to write their own vows. They can also choose from template ones, but don't forget that your wedding is about creating a day that is a reflection of you as individuals and your relationship, and the movement between one area of life and the next, and the different phases that you will go through as a married couple. So I'm just going to refer to some documents here, and I will try and edit this to put these questions into the video, and or failing that into the description of this video.
Forever seems like a long time, but nothing seems like a long time when I am with you. I feel like I'm walking on water since the day that I asked your father to let go of his daughter. So give me your blessing, sir, I'll give her all that I've got. It doesn't look like much, but it sure feels like a lot. Let her take my heart and take my hand. Take my heart and take my hand. Take my heart and take my hand again and again. Right where we stand.
So, I guess what I want to conclude on is that when you're writing your vows, put some effort in. You can choose a template, right? You really can, and I'm not against that at all. You can choose the standard, to love, honor, and cherish type stuff. But that's very for weddings and a funeral. And, that's a great movie. I love that. I had done 4 weddings and a funeral at one stage, and I was really sad when I did my 5th wedding because that kind of ruined the joke. But really put some effort in, particularly grooms. It's amazing how they really come to the party with this process, and I suppose being a male, I'm always keen to involve them in doing this, in the personalisation and in the planning, because that's important, because it takes 2 to tango. But yeah, so I guess the point of the video here was to say, hello, I've written a book, it's all in progress, getting final editing and stuff. That's all I will say, because I don't want to give away too much about that, but that is the overall point. And also I wanted to give you some helpful, albeit basic, tips about writing your own vows. Typically, the vow section of the wedding ceremony would take about, 5 minutes all up. So if you imagine that a page of text of 500 words is roughly 5 minutes, so it's 100 words a minute on a page roughly. Your vows would need to be, if you're going to make them rather long, say 2 minutes or so, then what I would encourage you to do is aim for them to be about 200 words long, or less. Most people it's quite a bit less. Let's say 150 words. And there are a couple of methods that I use for when people say their vows. The most common when they're custom vows is people will read them from palm cards, and I will pass them over the microphone, or they'll be mic'd up already. Or the other option is what we call the ecosystem, which is where I will say the sentence and the person will say the sentence back to us. Please bear in mind as well that the legal wording always needs to be included in your state, territory, or country according to the law or the religious organisation that you're in. And I would go through those as well, but that's not really relevant. But I suppose, just to reiterate, marriage, in my view, is about the relationship thereafter, not just the wedding day. And I do say that to all couples that I marry. So please, please think about your life partner as you're choosing them, and think about not so much these life goals. Like a wedding is very much a goal, and a target. We all have those targets. I have a target of releasing a book, right? But as my friend reminded me, it's about the journey, not the destination. So brides to be, please enjoy this process. Don't annoy your bridesmaids. That happens all too often. Bridesmaids get annoyed with the bride and with each other. Enjoy it and cherish it, because I hope that it only happens once.